Calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid. The reaction gives off carbon dioxide gas. Line X on the graph shows the volume of carbon dioxide formed against time when 100 centimeter cube of 1 mole per dm cube of hydrochloric acid reacts with calcium carbonate chips at 20 degrees Celsius. There was an excess of calcium carbonate chips. Which line best represents the volume of carbon dioxide formed against time when the reaction is repeated with 50 centimeter cube of 2 mole per dm cube of hydrochloric acid reacting with excess calcium carbonate chips at 20 degrees Celsius. So we know that the number of moles of hydrochloric acid is equal in each case. 50 centimeter cube of 2 mole per dm cube would give you the same number of moles that would be equal to 100 centimeter cube of 1 mole per dm cube moles. So that would mean that the volume of carbon dioxide will be equal. So it has to be either line B or C. But we know that the concentration of the newer in the new case is higher than the original concentration. That is 2 mole per dm cube in the new case as opposed to 1 mole per dm cube originally. So line B seems to be the most correct option because an increased concentration would mean a more vigorous slope or a steeper slope in the beginning and then leveling off to the same level. So line B, that's option B would be the correct answer for question 22. Question 23, an object has a weight of 50 Newton on Earth is taken to a planet where it has a weight of 3 Newton. The planet has no atmosphere. Which line in the table correctly shows the mass of the object on the planet and the kinetic energy it gains after falling from rest near the surface of the planet through a vertical distance of 10 meters? So mass can be calculated by dividing 15 by 10 and mass remains constant, so that has to be 1.5, and hence we can disregard options A, B and C. And to calculate the kinetic energy gained, we can calculate the gravitational potential energy lost, that is equal to mass into gravitational field strength into height. So height is 10 meters, mass is 1.5 kgs, gravitational field strength will be 3 Newton divided by 1.5 kg, that is 2 Newton per kg. So 2 times 10 times 1.5, that would give us 30 joules. So the correct answer is option E. Question 24. Some blood is found at a crime scene. The police know that it belongs to the one criminal involved. A person's red blood cells can have type A antigens, type B, both types, or neither. In a population, 45% of people have type A antigens but not type B. 9% of people have type B antigens but not type A. 43% of people have neither type of antigen. 3% of people have both types. So an antibody test shows that there are type B antigens present in the red blood cell at the crime scene. What is the probability that the criminal's red blood cells have both type A and type B antigens? So we need to calculate the probability of having type B antigens overall. That is 9% with only type B and 3% with type A and type B. So a total of 12% is the probability that you might find a B. And here we need to find the probability of getting A given that you have found B. So for that, we divide 3% by 12%, which would give us 1 by 4. That is option D. Because only 3% of the people have both types and 12% have antigen B. All right. So an experiment was carried out to investigate a gene for coat color in mice. The diagram shows the results of 3 crosses between different mice, producing 3 different families, P, Q, and R. What is the maximum possible number of heterozygous mice shown in the diagram? So either all of the gray could be heterozygous, which would mean that would be the maximum possible. So we need to consider whether this is a possibility. So if these two are heterozygous, they can clearly give rise to all heterozygous products. If this one is homozygous or heterozygous, if this one is homozygous dominant or recessive, it could still give rise, and this one is heterozygous, then it could still give rise to 2 heterozygous organisms. And again, similarly, it is possible for this case as well. So we can say that all gray can be heterozygous, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 possibilities. That is option H would be the maximum number of heterozygous mice in that particular question.